I go again with yet another speaker from Deeper Women Speak. I'm super excited about having Dr. Pooler on the stage tonight. I'm Dr. Barbara Swinney. I am a life and holistic leadership coach and coach trainer. I am the founder and CEO of Deeper Women Lead Global, a platform established for women in leadership to heal, lead, and leverage their stories and strategies for life, love, and leadership. When we started this journey in 2018, we started off with 4 women speaking from the Deeper Women Lead Global stage. And that was 3 of my friends in leadership that I took to lunch, and I convinced them to help me launch my first book, It's Always Deeper. They came, they shared their stories, and that was the beginning of Deeper Women Lead Global. Now we're here 6 years later, and Friday and Saturday, April 28th and 29th, we will be hosting 20 powerful women in leadership, sharing their stories for life, love, and leadership, helping you heal, lead, and leverage. I'm so excited. You need to go and register. If you didn't hear me on the radio today telling you to go in and type in code MAGIC, MAGIC, for the discount. You can go and get the discount. Put that in before midnight. You get a discount on the VIP ticket. We'll see you on Friday and Saturday. Why did I say January? Friday and Saturday, April 28th and 29th at the Westin Atlanta Perimeter Hotel. Please join us there and hear these women. And I'm so excited to have one sitting in front of me right now. Welcome, Dr. Erica Pooler, to the stage. And the crowd goes wild. Super excited to have Dr. Pooler be a speaker. Now, Dr. Pooler, this is not your first rodeo. This is not your first time speaking. And I just have a question for you. Why the Deeper Women Speak conference, and why now?
Well, it's so funny because a lot of times when you have passion and when passion meets purpose, a lot of times you try to run from it. Mm-hmm. And this was like an avenue that I was like, okay, I am like done with the speaking. I'm a realtor now. I want to just really focus on that. But God has a way of bringing things right back, that full circle moment. And the opportunity presented itself. I'm always trying to really sow into women because we hold the brunt of everything. We hold the husbands down. We make sure the household runs. We're the queen of how things are to be done. And so it's important to just remember to pour into ourselves. Right now is a time for women to just be able to pick up the pieces and keep it moving. You can't continue to look back at what it was. And when opportunity presents itself to you, you can't keep running either. So it was an opportunity that presented itself. And I was like, you know what? Let me just walk into it. So I'm super excited to be back on the stage and see how it goes, right?
I love it. I love it. When you're walking in your purpose, it's really hard to put it down. It just seems like it just hovers over you. My sister asked me, do you think this is what you're supposed to be doing? And I said, you know what? I really think that this is something that has to be done. And I think I've been the one chosen to do it. So sometimes you don't get to want to operate in your purpose. Sometimes because it's your purpose, it pulls you forward, and you can't sleep if you don't do it.
That's a word.
You can't sleep if you don't do it. It will wake you out of your sleep. So I know, Dr. Pooler, that you've written a book or two.
Right.
Can you give us a little insight as to what those books are about?
All right. My first book, it's crazy how sometimes your purpose comes out of pain. And I wrote my first book called The Cards of Life. When all hope is gone, you must trust and believe, because sometimes hope is all you have. When life beats you down and those cards present themselves and you're not ready to play your hand, you get to a point where there's nowhere else to go but up. And so The Cards of Life, When All Hope Is Gone, Trust and Believe was just about me telling my story. And at the time of me writing that book, I have been an educator for 23 years as well. And I was on that track to leadership, and I was just like worried about what people would say, and like, oh my God, if they know, what you've been through, people are judgmental. And when I tell you, it was one spring break, and when you talk about being woken up out of your sleep, the presence just was like, get up. I literally wrote that book in 24 hours. I stayed up all night. Some parts was tears, some parts was laughter. And it was really, dealing with a past that I had not visited in over 20 something years.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so I felt like it was an anointing of something that needed to be done. Like you said, I didn't want to. It was literally a presence that was like, do it.
Yeah.
And I was able to get it done. And it was talking about the past and just kind of going through cards that you're not prepared to deal with. And, you know, I tell a lot of people, like, there are times when you feel like you are not going to make it, but here we are. And we
Yes.
got through it. And so the goal is to get other women and whomever to read the material, and just when you feel like you can't keep moving, just do it anyway. With
Do it
tears
anyway.
running down your face, do it anyway. You
Do it.
know, so definitely one of my best sellers, The Cards of Life When All Hope Is Gone, Trust Then Believe. And then I have a few of children's series and workbooks and so on, journals that go along with those avenues of, you know, expressing from pain and just walking through it.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I really believe that it's our job. Our job is just to keep our heads down and keep doing the work.
Right.
And the fruit will come. Sometimes we get discouraged because we feel like we're working and working and working and nothing is happening. But our job is to just keep doing it. And then it almost feels like things happen suddenly. You know, I know in the Bible says, and suddenly, you know,
Right.
things happen, but I don't know how sudden it really is.
Right.
I
Right.
think it's after we've done a work for a long time, sometimes, that we see the thing that we've been working on. And it's
Right.
almost like the thing has been there the whole time, but it's just that God opened your eyes to it at a certain moment. And you're like, okay, there it is. When it really
Right.
has kind of been there the whole time, the whole time. So give them a little insight, Dr. Poole, as to what you're going to be talking about at the conference.
All right. So, as Dr. Sweeney stated, I wear several hats. I'm a realtor. I also really have the power of education of anointing on me. So I kind of let them marry together. But the goal is also to more so speak to women about just overcoming obstacles, just trying to keep moving forward in whatever it is that you are pressing forward. I say that, you know, what's over your struggle is life changing for you. If you can just get over the hurdle, you don't understand like what getting over it is going to be on the other side. And we can't continue to let fear hold us back from seeing what's next.
That's good.
So the goal is just to kind of get women to just really begin to walk in their purpose, walk in their presence, and persevere. No matter what comes, you know, there's some things we just have no control over, and you've got to keep the motion moving and just continue to be your personal best each and every day.
I think sometimes, Dr. Pooler, the thing that we're trying to heal from is not necessarily the hurt, it's really a reconciliation of our identity. And I think
Right.
because we get so tied to things and people, even when those things are ripped away from us, sometimes it hurts so badly because uh, we so identify with them. We've become almost one with them. And if you can
Right.
imagine, like maybe two pieces of wood being glued together and then you snatch them apart, one is
Right.
on the other. There's a hurt, there's a hurting that comes with snatching something apart. So it's that piece of us that we're trying to heal. Like, who am I really without? And when I was going through my struggles, both personally and professionally, I had to ask myself the question, who am I without it?
Right.
That's what I had become in
Mm-hmm.
my own mind. And that's how people identified me. That's how people recognize
Right.
me. The professional, the married woman, the mother, everybody but Barbara. So
Right.
I had to get to me to figure out who that is and yeah, who that is. I was about to say who,
Right.
but who that is.
Right.
That whole
Yeah, it's
identity piece is huge.
definitely important to peel back the layers because a lot of times we do identify with what we do, not who we are and who we are to other
Mhm,
people. So definitely that self identity is crucial. That self efficacy, knowing who you are despite what anybody else says, and being
mhm.
able to stand on that.
And Dr. Pooler, have you noticed that as you come more and more into yourself and self-identify, do you show up differently? Has it had an impact on how you show up at work, at home, and how has it impacted that?
Definitely. I would say, like in my younger, and I think everything comes with experience. Life comes with experience.
Mm-hmm.
And in my younger um, elements of who I am and what I do, It would just be all about everybody, everybody, everybody. And
Yeah.
I talked about the speech where you are just constantly you're that person in the family, you're that person for the kids, you're that person, but then who are you to yourself? And
Yes.
so I kept finding myself just pouring into other people and friends and children and husband, that there was nothing left in my cup.
Yeah.
So when it came time to feel myself, I couldn't really find my footing. One of the things one day I just wrote down in my journal, and I just put down all the things that make me happy, all the things that make me happy,
Yeah.
because I think we also give that instance to other people.
That's
And
good.
sometimes it's hard to just sit with yourself. And
Mhm.
especially when you're a mother, and a mother of six and a wife and a career woman, it's hard to just kind of get space to yourself, to just
Yeah.
really sit with yourself
Mhm.
and be okay with what's looking back at you in the mirror. So, being able to write that down and try to figure what makes me happy, not who I am to everybody else,
Mhm.
who I am to the position, the job, all these different things. But when you peel back that layers, if someone was to walk in tomorrow and say, pack your bags,
Mhm.
who am I in that space?
That's
And so,
good.
yes, I've really learned to love that person that's looking back at me. And it's a work in progress every single day. And life has taught me that it's important to definitely see myself and continue to work on that internal locus of control that lets me know that no matter what comes, I'm going to be
Mhm.
okay.
That's good.
I'm going to be okay because I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I don't
That's,
care what people think anymore. And that's a huge obstacle to overcome.
that's good. I remember some times when I was struggling, I would actually say those words, Dr. Poole, Barbara, you're okay.
Right.
No matter what, you're okay.
And you're going to be okay.
And you're gonna be okay. And
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes it just helps to calm you down. It helps you to understand that you are really bigger than all of the stuff that happens. No matter how tragic it may seem, you are bigger than. Yes, it hurts terribly, but you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's important to work on that internal dialogue that you have with
Mhm.
yourself, because we're our own worst enemy. We're
Yeah.
the one that talks us out of that dream, that goal. It's us. So
Yes.
I say you have a voice that tells you I can or I can't, and it's up to you to choose which voice you're going to listen to. It's up to you to try, even when you don't know how it's going to end or how it's going to work
Yeah,
out or how you're going to pay for it. To go ahead and start working on the process, because otherwise, a year from now, we sitting here saying the same thing.
absolutely.
So you just got to move. You got to move with a purpose.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Pooler, you were a part of my Deeper Women Lead pathway to the Deeper Women Lead global stage. And every week when we met, Dr. Pooler, I promise you, you were on a different beach.
Yes.
And you don't do virtual backgrounds. It's your actual background. You're on somebody's beach. Dr. Pooler, how did you get to that?
Well, I would say that a lot of the things I talk about in Pula Realty, P is perspective. And I just kind of work on laying it on the line. When I wrote that level of happiness, vacationing, time with self, I love nature. I love seeing the beauty of, just all those different things. And I don't work to live and pay bills. I pay myself first, just like a line item. I have a me account. I'm going to pay me. So when I want to do something, I don't have to consult. I don't have to worry. It's going to be there for me. So I think it's important for us to set ourselves up just like when we were meeting with you. One of my things in the speech is like, you know what? You should need a coach to tell you to show up for yourself. You should
Right,
need somebody to tell you to get a book and read it. Like when you can be that for yourself,
yes,
that's
yes.
when you get there, right? When you don't have to have a coach tell you to go. If you want to work on the body, you need to work out. I
Yeah.
can't. So it was just all of those different things, but putting things in perspective, getting that debt down. That's another part of that pool of realty and consultation, is just getting people to own your mess.
Yes.
Look at it, see where it's going. How much are you paying in credit card debt? How much are you paying? And also learning how to to do the due diligence. Like I really do a lot of manifesting. I do a lot of planning, and I put things forward and I pay myself first, so that when that time comes, is no question. My
Right.
goal is to go to India. By the time we meet this time next year, I need to have my trip to India. I'm like a big
Yes.
yoga buff, yoga meditation. I wanna travel the globe, and I'm going to.
Yes. Yes.
So it's just a matter of writing it down, making it plain, and making it happen. And so whatever I need to
I'm
do,
taking notes.
I make it happen.
That's good. I'm taking notes. I have to do a better job of doing the thing for me. And even though, the business is mine, but I work a lot on that. But even in that, and I was telling somebody the other day, I don't want to create another job for myself.
Right.
That's not the goal of this. But even in that, I still have to carve out time for me. And even
Right.
in planning this conference, man, there were some nights that I stayed up way longer than I needed to, and then I decided, you know what? Regardless of where I am in whatever process I'm working on, I'm shutting it off and I'm going to bed.
Right.
My kids would come in the room and see me spraying my melatonin spray on my bed. My daughter said, I think you're addicted. I said, this is just a part of my night routine. This is
Right.
what we're doing. And I had to cut it off. And I tell you, not only did I sleep better, but it helped me to feel more disciplined, more in control,
Right.
and not like all of the stuff was controlling me. I just had to shut it down and
I
say,
remember asking you, when do you sleep?
I know. It's got to be different. It's got to
Right.
change. And what?
Balance is necessary. It's
Yes,
necessary. And you're your personal best when you do all those little elements, the eating right, the drinking water, the cutting back on sugars, the getting the proper sleep. Like, it's the whole person,
the
you
whole.
know? And I think that's the part that we have to get to, that it's not just all of these elements, but if you don't take care of you, who's going to run the business? Who's going to run the schools? Who's going to run
Absolutely.
the family? So, you know, as mothers and as women, we have to do a better job with ourselves, because we break our neck for everybody else.
Yeah,
The boss say show up at 5, we show up at 5.
that's
But when
it.
it's time to show up for ourselves, I'm too tired. You know, it's excuses. So
Excuse.
just developing that no excuse mentality and just putting yourself first and filling your cup first is just so essential. It's so essential for you to be the best person that you can be for yourself first, and then pouring into others next.
And you just feel better all around, mentally, physically. You just feel better. I feel in control. Just like when you are
Right.
trying to lose weight or you're trying to start a new journey, fitness journey. I feel better, or I do better with my eating when I'm working out,
Right.
and vice versa. And then you start working out and you're like, eating like this is not, and my workout is not
Right.
going up. What? This is insanity. Why am I doing this? So some of the
Right.
things that we do just start not to make sense. Like that doesn't, those things
Right.
go together as you're continue to evolve and grow and change your mind and change your thinking and all of that. Some of the stuff that you do now or currently, it just doesn't fit anymore.
Right. And I think one of the things that helped me is I'll ask myself, does this action align with the goals that I've set for myself? Does
That's
this
good.
action align with the journey? So before I'm putting something in my mouth, before I'm swiping that card on something that I don't need, does it align with my purpose and passion? Does it align with the goals that I've set for myself? And if it doesn't, developing that self discipline to be like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
slap your own hand.
Yes, we can do something different. And you're right.
Right.
You don't need a coach to tell you to do what you know you're supposed to
But
be.
we appreciate you. We appreciate you. But the goal is to get to yourself, to
Yes,
get to where you can do it on your own.
absolutely. The goal is really what a coach does is I take my perspective and lay it on top of your perspective. Kind of like I take your 10 and say, look over there. Like it's just like adjusting your perspective just a wee bit so you can get to the thing you're trying to get
Right.
to. Not to
Right.
correct the stuff that you're doing wrong. It's to get
Right.
you to the thing that you're trying to get to. And sometimes you need somebody with a different type of knowledge, a
Right.
different level of knowledge to get you there. So that's the role of
Right.
the coach.
And I tell you what, I knew, okay, on Thursday at 7, I got, I got to get it done. So
Yes,
the accountability does help.
it
But the
does.
goal is by the time you're finished that you can continue to move forward. Because at the end of the day, that Friday through the next Thursday, it's up to me to figure it
It's
out.
up to you. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I
I
always
thoroughly
tell people,
enjoyed it.
yeah. I always tell people to stay close to the fire because it just keeps your mind focused. And when
Oh,
you're
yes.
in a coaching group, I'm in one myself. When I get on those calls and I see what other people are doing, I'm like, okay, let me stay in it because
Right.
sometimes you feel like, man, I don't feel like
It's
doing
so
any of it.
necessary. Iron sharpens iron for sure. For sure.
It
If you're the
does.
smartest in your circle, then you need to find a new circle. So
That's it.
that is what it helped do for me. And it definitely gave me a perspective. I probably got months and months of things lined up that I need to work on from the coaching.
That's
But
good.
and hopefully when it's time for the next set, I'm like so far ahead of meeting those goals and ready for the next level because it's time
That's
to
good.
eventually continue to level up. As much as I keep running from stuff, I think it's just going to keep unfolding.
Yes, good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, listen, ladies, you have met Dr. Erica Pooler. She is super focused. Let me tell you, when it came to homework and all of that stuff, Erica's already got her stuff. She's going to be in the anthology that's coming up in September. She's got her bio already uploaded in the folder. She's got her chapter 1, I think, already. Is it chapter 1 or is it the whole thing?
I'm done. Yes, I'm done with the whole thing.
With the whole thing already lined up and ready to go. I am so excited. I can't wait for us to dive in again beyond Deeper Women Speak. But if you haven't registered for Deeper Women Speak, you need a community. And that's where you will find one. Go to deeperwomenleagueglobal.org, register for Deeper Women Speak, which will be held right here in Atlanta, April 28th and 29th at the Westin Atlanta Perimeter North Hotel. You need to be in the space. Don't miss this opportunity to collaborate, to connect, to network, to build your tribe. On the first day, we're going to have the Deeper Women Brunch and Learn. We're opening with the brunch. We're super excited about that. We're going to be giving away some awards, some first-time awards for Deeper Women League Global. We're giving away a Global Leadership Award, a Global Impact Award. So please be in the space so we can honor some phenomenal women who are just doing phenomenal things around the globe, literally around the globe. So I can't wait for you guys to meet these people and to sit under their tutelage as they talk about international investing and how to move your life forward. Because it's not just about having fun and coming into yourself. It's what do you do with yourself after you've come into yourself? Because you can't remain in the same space. So go to deeperwomenleagueglobal.org, register. Remember, I said earlier, type in MAJIC magic to get a 20% discount on the VIP tickets. That's just in honor of my debut on the radio show today with Miss Jackie Page during midday at Magic 107.5 and 97.5. It was an amazing experience. So I'm doing that for her audience. Go and register before midnight and get that discount. And before we leave, Dr. Pooler, let the people know where they can go and find you if they want to get in touch with you or work with you.
Yes, I am on Instagram at poolerrealty.com and also Instagram at Erica Pooler. So I'd love to connect with you to help you buy, sell, or just get your perspectives and everything in order so that you can live the life you love.
I love that. So you can live the life you love. Good stuff. All right. We're going to be looking forward to seeing you at the conference. You can meet Dr. Pooler at Deeper Women Speak this weekend, April 28th and 29th at the Westin Atlanta Perimeter Hotel. Go to deeperwomenleagueglobal.org and register tonight.
Also, if there's any paying at the door, I don't know if you wanted to mention that.
If you want to pay at the door, don't wait.
Don't wait, but just in case.
But, you know, if you want to bring a friend, if she wakes up on Friday morning, she's like,
right.
Oh, I want to go too. Then you can bring her too.
Right. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be a part of this platform.
Absolutely. I am so enjoying getting to know you.
Yes.
All right. We're going to say good night. Say good night to the people, Dr. Pooler.
Good night.
Everybody.